life! Hello, everyone! Oh, man. Oh, yeah, hi, Nehru. Thanks for dropping by early today, which is very nice. So, last week was a bit disappointing. We didn't have any followers last week, but... meh, that's how it is. I guess. Followers come and go, you know? As long as I'm having fun. And speaking of having fun, today it is time to continue with Ace Attorney, the longest case that I have yet to receive. I have a feeling I won't be able to finish it today, but that's fine. We can always have another week. So, let's continue with Rise from the Ashes. Last time I think we managed to get Edgeworth into trouble with the police chief, which, well, hopefully it gets resolved this time. Let's continue. February 23rd, 2:15 p.m. Wright and Cole Law Offices. Mr. Wright? So, what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room at once. What's this? And the evidence room part? Prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it! Well, she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go! Science awaits us! I have a feeling a tutorial will be coming up, because I don't think... yeah. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Well, I think I care. It's too much of a coincidence to not be linked with this murder. Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Yeah, right, exactly. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum. Was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister raising evidence at the crime scene? Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just... we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Hehehe. Oh, right! Doesn't the spray exist that will identify blood? I saw it in those shows from Gordon Ramsay where he puts out a spray and he's looking for liquids in the hotel room. Sounds weird, but it was for a scientific purpose and for the owner's best interest, I guess. But yeah, maybe a spray like that exists for blood. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Yes, I knew it. It exists. Luminol. Blood is sticky stuff, you know? You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Argon, oh my gosh! You are here! Oh, it's nice to see you. I'm very glad you're here. Hope you'll enjoy the stream. I think those blue ones are thoughts because no one ever reacts on those. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor! I can't even drink yet! And that's the reason, cuz we're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you those glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of those things? Ooh. It is now very red. To test for a blood reaction, just play the luminol on it. Like this, see? Okay. Press enter to spray it on. Okay, let's find out some blood stains. Okay, close to the corpse, I would presume. Oh, over here. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So, is this a blood stain? It's so... Ugh. Emma, you're shaking. It's just... This is my first time seeing real blood. Aw, I share the feeling. I don't like seeing blood either. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know that this is a blood stain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this, scientifically? Oh my gosh, the amount of blood! Wouldn't there be like a ton? Someone was stabbed in the chest. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, they'd have to be more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when we find a bloodstain, okay? Ooh, that's handy. Thank you, Emma. See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Finds blood tracer spray to use. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah! It feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! Oh, it's you! Hello! I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Star! You only trust your own eyes, hmm? Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Is it spoiled if it's the day-old? Maybe not. Depends on the ingredients used. Sorry, it's just... that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you can't trust something day-old. Most of the time it's worth eating. It can be eaten still, but... just have to be careful. Especially with things like, with meat and fish. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Star, but... No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. What? I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand! That's unforgivable! Yeah, that's kind of fair. Oh boy. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it, on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. Oh, man. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Star? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I could be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day, I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long, they called me the Cough-Up Queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. Wow, rude! And you were let go. Fired? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case. The SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... I know what she means. She means this. What do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know? Really? That knife is evidence from that case. The murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Yes, please do. It has been a very empty sting. I can't ask her about it? Maybe she still needs that photo. Oh no. She didn't even look at it. Yeah, I know this reaction already. Why can't she tell us more about SL9 yet? Present the knife still? A body with Edgeworth's knife stuck in it was found in Edgeworth's car. I think he owes me his gratitude. Gratitude? Why, if I hadn't witnessed the crime? Mr. Edgeworth would have been the suspect. Yeah, show the knife from SL9. I presented the wrong knife, I'm sorry. Still, it's strange. Why did not Chief Prosecutor have her own murder weapon ready? Why indeed? Where is the knife? There we go. The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife and on the notes. Okay. No, that's weird. Is it a glitch? I had one of those up until 2 years ago. Back when you were the cough-up queen, right? We found this ID card. We found this ID card here in this parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's. But it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. Ah, okay. Maybe. That's impossible. I wish I could be so sure. Let's still present the photo. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes. So he went straight to the scene of the crime. I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Oh my gosh, this was what I had to press. Just like that time. That time. Maybe this is what we needed. Yes! 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 That incident really opened my eyes to the truth. Okay, I won't forget, Nehru. We're spraying every scene we can find. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable to who? 2 years ago. It was the biggest case I'd ever handled. Wait, is that Marshall? The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it. On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence. Of a sort. Made up evidence. Oh no! What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolman. Others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those. Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be... Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Ooh. Oops, I mean, Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Wait, who's the fourth person? Jake was particularly determined. And then, it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now, and no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell? There is only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. She was doing it so she could get in and like sneakily find evidence. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. I come here to meet old friends. Boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Star's old boyfriends. How many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. Indeed. So, Rookie. What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Ooh. And it's fresh. It's excellent for putting Officer Marshall in a good mood. Miss Star? Officer Marshall, is he your... are you his... Are you... going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister. It made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating in this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. Ah, maybe that is the reason why she's telling us this, because she feels like maybe we can be better help than the prosecutors ever can be, you know? Especially now that SL9 evidence is involved. Officer Jake Marshall. Everything goes back to this man and my bad impression of a Texas accent. Let's go to the police department. Yeah, we have the minds of a detective after all. At least better minds than Gumshoe. No, that is mean. I shouldn't say that. Gumshoe is a great detective. We shouldn't say that. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here after all. So the evidence room, the scene of the crime, yes. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk. Here it is. It's like a kid at an amusement park. Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. Yep, let's... I want to examine this again. Hello. Blue Badger is still racing around today. Behold! Gumshoe made it himself. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing around like crazy since yesterday. Can I take out his batteries? I just can't help but feel he's going to do something not... No, Emma, I don't think he's going to. Don't think like that, please. Okay. What are they talking about? Look, the patrolman is saluting the other guy. He must be a detective. You idiot! What were you thinking? Where's your head? Sir, it's right here, sir. I guess he wasn't saluting. He was showing the detective where his head was. They make a good pair. Okay. Well, we should enter. Guard station. Oh my god, look at this room. This is obviously the place where Marshall works. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is a guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime? It sure seems that way. Oh, what's wrong? It's those cacti! They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. If he painted those walls like the desert, then he would have been fired. At least I think so. I don't think the police would allow him to go that far. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. Yeehaw, partner. Where is Marshall anyway? I don't see him. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where is the guard? Exactly. I have a feeling I know who he is already. Yeah. Oh my god. Is that a free... Look on the floor! A lasso! Looks like it set up to trap something. A trap, here. Wait, I know! Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed. No, I don't think so, Emma. I think he was trying to catch intruders. You sure have an active imagination. Can I access it? The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. Ah. Gumshoe, where are you? I need your ID card. This place is charged with frantic energy as always. Please! Huh? Wasn't that? One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you. Hi, Gumshoe. Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh. I'm sorry, my dude, but I need it for something else. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. Oh, I'm sorry, but it is for investigation purposes. I'm not going to eat it myself. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. The criminal? You mean... You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence, right, pal? They found the man who did it! I have a weird suspicion it's not gonna be the police chief. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department. And the perpetrator. Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested them, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch. Pronto. Standing around here talking isn't going to fill my belly. No, don't leave. I need your ID card. Nah. Dang it. I needed this ID card. Wait, they got the marshal as a suspect. You think so? Maybe. That can be the case. I mean, we have some clues pointing towards him. Maybe they caught him. Wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on to the detention center, pal. Questions should be over, so I figure he's down here having a good cry. Later. Bye. It would be so much easier if I had his ID card. And I'm not an expert at pickpocketing, unfortunately. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Ah, he's going... We can't ask him because he's going there himself. Okay. Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. Ugh, makes my head hurt. Well, first things first, let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up or we could wind up dead. I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. Can we ask him? Must be the chief of detectives. He is glued to his computer screen. What? Detective killed in the evidence room? Tell no one outside the police department? No! I told that old lady at the restaurant everything. Whoops! Don't let the chief of police hear you say that. Someone's getting a demotion. Okay, then let's move. Oh yeah, the suspect! Let's go to the detention center. Marshall, where are you? Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best do not go too far down the road right now. Things will just get confusing. Oh, Jeevas, that was loud! What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying! Me, a perpetrator? I say I was the perpetrator again, sir! That's what I'd say! Wait a sec, it's this dude? Hi, greetings, sir! Wait, I know who you are! Yeah, it's the dude! Excuse me, but this is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises. I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekins, so you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a lost little lamb, sir. Aw, poor man, he's very frazzled. I think, like, yeah, he's a suspect, so. Oh, I get it, you're here to deliver a report. No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't... Is he? You, Officer Meekins, you didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir! What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. Yeah, I was expecting someone else. Oh, Shiva, stop! It's so loud. Sir, I'm a patrolman with general affairs, sir! Sir! Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. It's only a glass window, it's not soundproof. I had some business that day, sir. So I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room. Ah, yes, Marshall. Wait, he wasn't there? That's right, sir. Because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person! What the heck is this guy doing? Don't choke yourself with handcuffs. It's not healthy. So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hands? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Oh, no. Just like Miss Sky. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, Don't you think you should just confess? But, sir, but there was nothing I could do! Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were... Huh? Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? And then when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hands, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the horror, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared. That's some story. So he was attacked by Goodman? That's... Huh? I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as a perpetrator or victim, sir, then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention. And alive and well at that. Yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger, or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So you didn't know him? Sir, I work in a tiny department, devoid of light or any creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So he was in a total stranger, then why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Yeah, indeed. Maybe we can help jog his memory, but with what? Does he remember the knife? Officer Meekins, this is for you. Ah! I'm scared of knives, sir! It's okay, I just wanted you to take a look at this. That's it, sir! Last night, sir! That's the one! He was attacked with this knife? Wait! Huh, how did he get the knife before? Did Edgeworth really do it? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I shouldn't doubt my boyfriend. I was an apple, sir, in my dreams, sir, and I was being peeled. Oh, on second thought, you don't have to look at the knife. He's overreacting to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. Yeah. Sorry, dude. Was he holding this? Oh, another knife. Okay. Oh, whoops. Let's present this. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey! That's it, sir! That's it! That's it! That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment! But sir, now I remember! I remember, sir! You mean you remember what happened? Correct! That card was the cause of it all! Really? This ID card. Exactly, sir! That's exactly it! Nothing could be more exact, sir! Nothing! I'd better pry into this one a little deeper. Yeah. Crime details. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a lost little patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. Yes, I know. Oh. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious. I'm reading too fast. I need to wait to see who's saying stuff before I start the accents. Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he's pointing a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you, I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him. Do unto the others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir. I guess it co-aligns with police training. I don't know. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir. Everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim who he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. Ah, I see. And if if this body just disappeared from the evidence room. We don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here. They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly. No, but the videotape is quite clear. There's a tape? Show me the tape. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out is there. It's me. It's on tape. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No thanks, I have my own. Well, guess we better go check out the crime scene. It wouldn't necessarily have been the same exact suit. Someone would have, like, just ordered one on Amazon and let it be delivered. If they know Goodman well and know his dressing styles, they could have easily ordered another suit that looked like his. Oh no. If I'm not thinking what I'm thinking, then I think we need to talk to Marshall immediately. Let's move. I'm gonna take a sip of water for a sec. Screaming takes a lot out of your throat. Okay. Back in the Criminal Affairs Department. Hey, Mr. Wright! Look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives desk! It's Police Chief Gant. Ah, hello, Orange Man. And you're sure this is all, hmm? You know what it means if there is anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats. Under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. Someone has a personal coffee machine in this office? What? I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Right, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh, Chief Gant. Reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Hello, indeed. Oh, right, what happened to Edgeworth? Is Edgeworth going to be okay? Oh, Worthy. Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gwert Lake? It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sitting in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, too? Well, of course, Von Karma, but he deserved it. He deserved it, he was actually the killer. Alleged he was undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court you fixed it, so he was caught for forging evidence. I didn't do anything of the sort, sir. I used actual evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of a turmoil, you might say. Why, they just do about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on the turf too, I mean. They're being the prosecutors, I assume. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? No, Raito, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it. I swear this man did everything. I wasn't expecting much anyway, yeah. You don't tell us anything. As a chief of police, you have to tell us things. Shibas. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets. Can't stand them. Oh, how ironic you are. Says the man who's hiding every single thing about this case. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives trap shut. Ah, he was the one you were picking on earlier. Huh? You saw that? Whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. With him in the proximity? We can try. I hate his smug face. He knows exactly what he's doing. Well, yeah, sure, but... I just know I'm onto this man. He did everything. It's like with Von Karma, you know, immediately he did it. Oh, man. I'm getting too conspiratorial right here. Okay, let's examine this man. Ooh, sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the chief of police want you to do? Well, see over there, that's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here. Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item. Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that, just in case. Half-written document dated 2/21. Can only be submitted to the chief of police. So he was here. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Yeah, I know. Can we talk to this man? Yes! Yes! Give me permission to enter. I will drop the conspiratorial talk if you let me in. As you can probably guess, that was a bluff. Okay, I will check it later. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Raito asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Hello? Oh, not again. Hello? Hello? Now, Raito. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Raito, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, Sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50. No problem. Yeah, the camera footage is probably in the evidence room. So go ahead. Investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. It just goes to show, you never know until you ask. And for you, here, you can borrow this. Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? Well, that's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. So just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. Hehe. Looks pretty cool on my label, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we got to go into the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. Well, she wants to be part of the police force when she grows up, so... Let's check it out, then. Bruce Goodman, ID 5. It's not finished, for some reason. Item lost. He lost something. Status report. 2/21. Why is the ID not complete? That's interesting. Do I have other evidence to inspect? No, that's the only one I have. Okay, so now we can move to the crime scene. Guard station, yes. Let's examine the door. The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. I have Goodman's ID, you say. What is the number on... Wait a sec. Huh. Why did he misnumber his own ID? This says 5'8". This says 5'9", but he wrote that out because it was a mistake. But why didn't he finish it? That's weird. Let's just walk in then. It won't open. Aha! The card reader is turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking? Yeah, good catch. I forgot to check that. Howdy, partners. Well, what made my Bambina sky so great? Ugh, I can't do a Texas accent. Officer Marshall! Why does this have to be him? Because it's obviously him. What's that? Why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeah, hello. Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw? Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene is awaiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then. Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Okay, ominous Marshall. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. I was wondering if we could talk to you. Sorry, Bambino, but I'm off to roam the lands, like a tumbleweed on the wide prairie. Like a gunslinger loading his 6-shooter, I say a little prayer. That sounded... God! That sounded so weird! What was that all about, Mr. Wright? I think he was just too hungry to... Oh, right! You have no idea what he's talking about either. Yeah. Give him the lunch immediately. He has hunger. Here you go. That smell. Reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this for my baby? Yeah, Miss Star. What's this? What's wrong? A filet steak lunch. I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Maybe it's some sort of code that they have. Like, maybe she gives off different kind of lunches depending on what kind of things she has to investigate. Maybe this is the steak lunch means that we are in on the investigation. Alright, Bambina. You win. Understand. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. Yes, indeed. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, but I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. That poor little doggy. Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. But since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, you might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Sippy. Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Sippy. There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take to machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they're sneaking next to your steak, you know? Hey! That broccoli is delicious! I love steamed broccoli! He rode his horse. Yes, exactly! Oh my gosh, he rode his horse to the Old Town Road! Okay. Miss Star told us something. She said you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a raw-hide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Star, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what exactly happened. There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, the case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case? That's right. The evidence transfers. Edgeworth was talking about the transfers too. Oh, we need to go to Edgeworth too then, after this. I know maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them! There must be a dozen! Like I said, Bambina, me machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. Come on, don't be so sassy with your steamed vegetables. They're delicious! Especially with some salt and pepper on top of them. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're a security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. That's the card reader by the door. Yep. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. Ooh, let me see. Oh, I see it immediately. Wait, only once? Who are the other 3 numbers? So this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina. I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there is some way. Yeah, it's the exact same name as Goodman. ID number, not name. This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. Yeah, yes, of course, the chief of police can choose his own number, and he chose the luckiest number. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. One sec, I need to blow my nose, it's getting bad. Oh, Shivas. Oh wow, that helped, sorry about that. Look, the 4th number, it's a perfect match. Yeah, I also want that one. But it's also kind of sus. It's also very easy to pick you out of a crowd, you know? We need to see if there's like a database for police IDs. It was used at 5:15, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So he asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing! Suddenly he pointed a knife at me! If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre. You win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. Haha. Okay. I have got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. Ah, I see. Okay. Well, now we can enter the evidence room. And I can show it to Gumshoe, so maybe we can compare numbers. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room. It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Gumshoe, perfect timing. Ah! Whoa! Oh! Oops. Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So, is it true what I heard? Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? Ah, yeah. We are allowed to investigate. Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Gant will loan anyone $50, even me. Oh my gosh. I know immediately he will never pay back that $50. Wait to take the wrong thing out of his gumshoe. Oh, so that's what you were talking about. I Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today. Boss for a day. But guess what? You've got permission from the chief. So now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. What is it? Oh, these are just the floor plans. An L-shaped room with 4 lockers on it. Okay. Can we present you this? Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here today on the stabbing. Ah, I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa! What is it? That second number. It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth. Why is he so involved in this case? I think, like, maybe he's, like, another scapegoat. Yeah. There aren't any blood stains on the floor. The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. What? Oh boy. Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Yeah, we... So, Detective Gumshoe, you're boss for the day. That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation. Again. I'm adamant though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe. Of course. I'm a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open. I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using their ID card. Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my 3rd card since entering the force already. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint? Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. Ah! Why do the noises always have to be this loud? So the only locker we can open is our own. Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles. On the other side of the handles is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, zap, you get a shock. If that's what happened, my hand will be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Yeah. Maybe, but nah. I'll deal with it. Maybe present something that's got to deal with SL9. Wait, someone else entered here. I think it's Meekins that entered here then. Yeah, because they entered at the same time. Yeah, I think that's what happened too. What do you know about SL9? I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection. That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. No, that was a bloody violence case. Yes, some clarification, please. Violent, so it was a murder. A serial killing. Whoa! Oh no. A serial killing. Maybe I'm the one to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake. Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago. That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight and started the rumor mill. Rumors about forced evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Eh? What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see? So, that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife of the evidence locker himself. Now that we know more... Can we use, like... I want to see whether there are blood stains. Yes, spray. Here. What? What is that? The first one I see? What? Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What, this? It's called luminal testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow 50 bucks from the chief. Where do you get this, Emma? I was buy it by a mail order. Well, I better jot this down on the floor plans. Nothing more here. Oh. I saw it immediately. Hello. I knew it! That is someone's right-hand print. What? What's the matter, detective? This locker! It's mine! It's yours! Please! You have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll test them when I won't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor. I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective! Don't worry. Your ID isn't on here, so you didn't do it. Whoa, that's a lot of blood. Maybe that's where the footprint came from. This one. Must have been one massive pool of blood. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien. This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you should have asked. I think that's all. I think that was all of them. Let's examine some more. A glove. Someone left a glove here, but only one. Wait a sec. Why is there SL9 on this glove? Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal. Make me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know. You mean SL9. It does have a tag on it. Look, this one's open, and the red indicator light above the door is lit. That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker. Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if you closed it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. Stuff with dreams. I'm not so sure about the dreams. It won't open. Did you really think it would? Hey pal, security is high-tech around here. What's on the floor? Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all those pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal. Make me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case. The case? SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on the pieces? There. Another piece of SL9 evidence. I wonder what shape these pieces were before whatever it was broke. You want to try to put it back together? Ha! Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Why, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry on a tube with glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest of the piece. Let's see. Can I rotate it? we go. Put it in. Yes. There we go. Next piece is not that one. No, that's not it. No. No. Oh, this one. There we go. Yes. Oh, whoops. I didn't even realize that was the correct piece. Whoops. It's this one. Rotate it like this. And then... This one. Yes. This one is, I think, pretty obvious. This. No. Oh, this one. There. Yes. Now it's this piece. At least I think. Yes, that's it. The last piece is this. Wait, there's a piece missing. There's a piece of it missing. Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far too. Yeah, I got that far in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. I kind of understand how it got broken. Well, we did have glue, Argon. Glue helps a lot. Hey, pal, look at the time. Was there something you needed to be going to? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm going to give them my report for the day. It might help, you know. Aww! Is he inviting him to lunch? That's so sweet! To cheer him up. That's so adorable. They are best friends. But don't you dare just go further than that, Gumshoe. Edgeworth is Phoenix's or mine. Whatever. Report. You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems. Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure you can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say too. That's a cue as any to move. Let's go to the prosecutor's office. No, not present. We're done. Hi, prosecutor's office. Edgeworth, hello. Wanna go for lunch after this? Hey, guest, my apologies. Oh, it's you, the bellboy from the second case. Have you met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? They're standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. So dramatic. Right. He has the hotel bring him tea service? Wow, how rich is this man? Only for some tea. Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. I'm reading too fast, goddamn. Ah, yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently a new French restaurant is open near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. Yeah. So how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Oh, oof. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again! I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes, any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I swear he is behind everything. Edgeworth, don't worry, I will bring him, I will let him... I will make sure he will be in jail at the end of this. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you? Why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still... Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Edgeworth, you have to explain something. This. Yes, this. Present button, please. Oh, right, I better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go, by Chief Gant, no less. I swear to the living hours of this world I live in, this man is behind everything. How is everyone this blind? I swear to God. The Chief of Police. He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. AI-16. He told me he wanted to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be the evidence was already filed. The chief is newer, never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make note of it. I have a feeling this case is also behind everything. Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. Do you know anything about the jar? Right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea. I'll pass on the tea. Just tell me about the case. Mr. Wright, Mr. Edgeworth told me no in a very polite manner. Whose side are you on, anyway? Maybe I'll just show him my best evidence. I can get some reaction out of him. Best evidence, huh? I can show him the glove. No. What is this? No. This one? Nope. There's a lot of blood. Maybe this? Nope. Which one? I could just give back the screwdriver. No, that's not gonna work. Come on, Edgeworth, say something. No, I have to present something. Well... Nope. The best evidence I have. I'm just pressing everything. The best evidence I have. I can present this. No. Oh, this one was it. Whoops. I pressed too fast again. It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident. There's some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You're the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. Must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Sorry, Edgeworth, it had to be done. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Yes. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant. Ah, this man again. That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too then. He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, we got nervous too, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why it was a deputy chief of police on the investigation. In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood will be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed. Wait, he didn't? Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? If you were still studying forensic science? Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminal testing fluid, hmm? Well then, you might have use for this. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints! It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and those fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks? How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Yes, move it. We move to the evidence room. Yeah. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, in this blood on the detective's evidence locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. Ooh. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger. Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print. I really can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. Well, it's the thumb, clearly. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? Let's enter like this. Ah, it looks like it did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the prints. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? It's E. Exciting, I know. Smashing and blowing out the candles on the birthday cake, see? Wow, that looks like fun. It might take some getting used to, though. It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. I guess I'd better give it a try. Spread on it as much as possible. And then... Aha! You did it! You found one! But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left his handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints. Looking at the locker door again closely. Oh, there's another one right there. It seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Yeah. Let's spread out the powder. And blow. It's visible, isn't it? On the top, maybe? Yeah, on the top. Yay, a print so clear, it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet. This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth and point out the person you think left these prints. How am I supposed to know who it was? I could make a pretty good guess. Means that the prints probably won't have anything to do with our case. Ah, yes. Gant has weird fingerprints. Hi, Gumshoe. This is cool. Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, so I came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly... There was another hand, yes! There was a handprint here. Okay, let's try using this. Yep, check for prints immediately. That's the spirit! Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Alright. So that means no prints. Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hands. There's one right here. Let's powder it in. Color it in with as much powder as you can. There it is. I gave it my best shot. Let's try a different finger. Ah, this one right here. And push. There we go. It's not Gant, unfortunately. Oh no. It's Marshall. Oh no. Welp. We found the man. Found a suspect. Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Officer Jake Marshall? Yep. That's got to be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma, this is entirely different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh no. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped blood stain. But why would Officer Marshall... It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. Guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. Oh my gosh! We did it! And in a proper amount of time! Oh my gosh, we're improving. I will finish up this trial for today and then we'll quit. That's a good amount of time, right? Yeah. Let's save. This is also a good time to get my bearings by drinking some water. Oh no, there are two parts. Oh boy, here we go! It is time for another trial. Another face-off. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in two different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm not used to all-nighters, though.
So, how did it go?
It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain.
A plea bargain? What do you mean by that?
We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma.
But Lana, don't tell me you...
Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Sky. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence?
Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact.
That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you?
In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall?
We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright.
Okay.
My god. Whoops, I pressed the wrong button. 1 second. And back. Sorry about that. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared.
Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself.
Now that's what set Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself.
And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Well, you have the same trait, Phoenix. That's what makes us so compatible. Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer?
Phew, boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go.
Hello, Meekins. Good to see you again. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir! I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir! My occupation is... that would be murderer, sir! Oh my gosh, this poor man! He's fully convinced that he did it. Whoops. Well, that's awkward. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir! I'm the one who did it! I'll never kill anyone again, sir! You've got to believe me, sir! Actually, what would you like to say? Sir, I want you to call part of the younger generation, sir! A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend! Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir! Officer Meekins. Yes, sir? Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir! As you wish! After all, I'm a part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir! Wow. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. In the wrong places, yeah. Okay, crime report, sir. Let's go. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to the guard's evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, but I didn't. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted, and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin. It's cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. No, press is Q. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir! I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir! Yikes! There's a scary thought! Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir! The Blue Badger? Yes, sir! The lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir! Why is he such a big part of this case? I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transfer process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around. Then I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on you, right? You're not the 777, aren't you? There it is! I found it! This is the one right here! Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir! It's 498-9596! That's my number, sir! I see. Huh? But the number 498-9596 is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I located the Blue Badger to the evidence room. The second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir! That was when I spotted the man on the security screen! So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir! A knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? What was me charging in on him like that? He looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand.
Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hands wouldn't be...
When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar.
What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife?
I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. Okay, calm down. I see. He must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood. And then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir!
About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious.
Oh, right.
According to a report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too! I woke up crying tears of pain!
That's nice.
I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, we can all rest easy now.
I believe now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point.
Yes, Officer Meekins. With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
The chief. It's always the freaking chief. That orange man. He's so...
delivered it. What is that? A videotape. Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word, murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Okay, let's see. Why is the music on? Okay. Okay, the man enters. We don't see his face. Now we can see his face, right? Are you Are you kidding me? Yes, the thing will haunt my... Oh no, there's Meekins. The character models are pretty well rendered though. They're pretty good. Oh gosh! Oh gosh! This badger is... God damn it! Stop hiding the man's face! Oh no! He really is unconscious. Okay. And that is it. What a pause. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the blue badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this is going smoothly? Okay. Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room. And sort of, activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir! As you wish, sir! I have a feeling there are a lot of inconsistencies in that video. His face can be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. What's this about the fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. Defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? Yeah! Didn't you see his face? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife. Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I will be classified as the latter? The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, did you see? To be fair, that is relatable. But it's not helpful. Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I bet my badge on it. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people, since his face can be identified in the video, only you can verify. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stairs as disturbing or... Meekins? Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir! You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir! I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They all respond to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir! And this too! How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir! From people in the know, sir! People in the know? The workers in the apartment cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles. Ah, that's sweet, at least. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprints. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir! Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough of this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is. Unless the defense can find a problem with it.
Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again.
Is there a problem with the security video? Well, there should be, right? Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange. The contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction. Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He will want me to point it out. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out the problem in the video. First time I've ever had to do that.
You can do it, Mr. Wright. Stop so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing.
Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? The music will be playing forever, doesn't it? We have to go... We have to go to the point where he opens the locker. Pause! Wait a sec. Why is the light on? The thing that's strange about this video would have to be, this? Hold on a second. I need to use my eye drops. Well, I don't get it. Would you mind if I borrowed your eye medicine? Don't look at me with those bleary eyes. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this... What? I did it wrong. Play the video again. Okay, well, let's try this again. Ah! A bit earlier. A bit earlier. But it's... Wait, what the hell is that? The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point? What you're looking for is only one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman. Oh yeah. What? What? What is going on? Yes, I pressed that thing. Oh my god. But I pressed that immediately. Back. There. What is going on? I don't know what to do. I have to do something. I know the contradiction. There's a light. Officer Meekins. Oh my god, it was the lights. God damn it. I swear. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. The light was on! When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprints, and if it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something seriously is wrong with this picture. Oh boy. While this is playing, I'll go take a sip of water. This music will haunt my dreams. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind it to a little earlier. Oh my gosh. I did that exact thing. Here, notice the light. What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When the door is shut, a sensor is triggered. And the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know! It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not like Your Honor. The sensor will detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor. Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator?
Huh? Oh, maybe something like jammed the system sensor.
Something jammed the sensor. Say something else that seems out of place in this video. Yes, the glove that fell out. The thing that fell out.
There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage.
The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, point out where. Point out why. Stop! Please watch closely. This is a continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Oh gosh. Whew, the music is off. I would have gone insane. Oh boy. And bloop. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I have to fall out and roll great distances when I open my car doors. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Insert it. Can I press... No, I can't. You would think they would have done that in this version. Bloop. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my toy. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my touch. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Ah, yes, an insulator. But at a crime scene. That just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, an insulator. You don't mean... plastic. Relevant evidence. What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? A plastic rubber glove. Rubber is an insulator. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. Well, we can't be sure. That was the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir! It would appear so, sir! Ooh. So really, it couldn't have been Goodman. So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir! Me, sir! I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir! Oh! You mean that, sir? Of course, sir! Is this a joke? Very well. Begin your testimony. Okay. What do you have to say now? Mystery man number 2. There's one other thing that proves the detective. The man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective used this card. An ID card record. I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transfer. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Just hearing that bits make my hair stand on end.
Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleaned up by noon. Right, I see. Now, let us move on to the cross-examination. Mystery man number 2. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir! Solid as stone, sir! If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages! And even give the V for victory sign, sir!
Isn't he just using his right hand for that?
Let's hear him out fully. As we see, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. Is that heart hanging from your neck one of those ID cards? Yes, sir! The card makes to my cuff, sir! I keep it here, so I won't ever forget it. What if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. I remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of the car. Well, the remaining time, it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edward, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, good idea, evidence. Tommy, is that blue guy a murderer? Done? Why are the children in the courtroom for a murder case? Stop it. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. Must be so difficult for him.
Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir! He didn't show me an ID card, sir! Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked! Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. I'm confused. The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's nothing like Edgeworth to miss something like this. At the time of the crime. Okay. What proves otherwise? Wait a sec, I will save. 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 Yes. Present. He was writing this at the moment, maybe. Yes! Yes! I was right! Yes! Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Yes! Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report. It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? Yes, indeed! I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. That's why he forgot the number! That's what it is! On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Oh my gosh! Order, order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order, order, order. Does the prosecution have a response? He does. I have only one thing to say to the defense. What? Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encounters was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, it seems you've finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth! The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Sky, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Ah! Oh no. Oh no. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana...
What do? Am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Well, object! We always object! It's always the lawyer's way to object. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Yeah, he was gone. Yeah, he was gone. However, it cannot be said that it's unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Yes! Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. Prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. Now we just might be on the upper hand here. This might just be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
Mr. Wright, do you mean?
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. Prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testified. What is his or her name? Jake Marshall. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. Prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Yes! Here we go. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Yes! Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Yes! Whew! There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. Seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out.
Lana, you're the one who knows everything!
Emma.
You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you.
I don't recall ever asking for his protection.
How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Thank goodness. I needed a break from the atmosphere. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. No! Come back! Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey! 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 I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky! That's okay, so... have you brought what I asked? Oh! 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 You mean this, right? My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. SL9 incidents?
But Lana, that's...
I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you. The Chief Prosecutor were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Files for the Joe Dark killing solved 2 years ago. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Well, I want to read it anyway. What does it say? The case is closed. Perpetrator is Joe Dark. Serial murder. The sentence is death. Victims: Kirby, Jet-Base, Jason Knights. Wait a sec. Marshall. Neil Marshall. Huh. A prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth. Lana and Emma were witnesses? Oh no. Executive investigators. Damon Gant and Lana Sky. Yes. Head investigators, Bruce Goodman. Investigators, Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. So they were personally involved with this. Ooh. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're going to ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that...
That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as... the Joe Dark killings.
Joe Dark? No, Lana! That's over with! No! Emma, wait! She ran away!
Oh, you know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere. Seriously, my dude? Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. Better take a good look at this file. Well, I already did, and it's not good. Not good at all. Okay. That's the first part done. We can also quickly do the second part, I believe. Yep. Oh no, Emma isn't here. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. What is he drinking? Witness, please state your name and occupation. Maybe like something like apple cider. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you. Wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. He really doesn't have any patience to be here. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind. It's never... I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we got on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. Not Texan English. My job was to keep a wary eye on the bone ore occurred. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Ooh, bird! Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you can know about those. Yeah, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence doors? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? Ah. Alright. It's new technology. He doesn't know of it yet. It's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? My son seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours! Yay. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time doesn't there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them. Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard what I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know let's rules get it this way. No desperados I know join the police force. So Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How did this guy avoid being fired? You used to be a detective, so you used the evidence room in the past, right? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a cool man of evidence. And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that you mention it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing? What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even angel steak lunches can beat that parlous fangol sepia pasta. You mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Oh, desperados, Itagos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually what Edgeworth says. Did you not want a raise this year? Out of ammo, huh? Out of ammo, Officer Marshall. That's right, partner. Or is it called evidence? If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west since the sun sets. One thing seems clear. Witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay. I have the trump card, huh?
It has to be the handprints.
Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet she dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crate. I pay my respects. This I make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime, see? The blood was wiped away, however. A luminal test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there is a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. About the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Blood-stained fingerprints. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. Oh, I gotta blow my nose again. Shivas. Well, I'm being called, which is very unfortunate, because I don't have the time. Well, it appears I must take a break, unfortunately, because I have to do something really quick. I'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes, if that is okay? I hope so. I hope you'll come back. Well, see you then. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. My apologies. Mom called me downstairs and there was no room for negotiating. Okay. So anyway, we will continue now. But this, the witness's explanation appears valid. Although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month. Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. The locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It was strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. The prints have been wiped. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Old man, there's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get that one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward with me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Unrelated. They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal. One's gotta do with breakfast, while the other's a type of murder. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene, though to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found in Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprints. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture. The seal of blood. In the desert. It's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. As long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. What do you mean by that? You want the time into this crime, isn't it right, partner? If it's so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you could show us evidence in this video that indicates the Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Yes. That has to be something with his locker. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. Okay, we have to take a look at the locker. A constant look at his locker. Over there. Okay. There has to be something nothing showing that he was there before. The fight happened. Then he was not there. This moment will be key, I think. Aha! That's it. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll not soon forget. Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Wait, isn't it close to like the middle of the earth so the days are actually longer than most? It's not. You're not living in Finland, Marshall. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. Also, he's not even... Wait. Oh, right! Didn't he say he was from Los Angeles? Whoops. He's too obsessed with cowboy movies. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Oh, the white cloth, it's gone! What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the scene of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order, order. It would seem that's the only... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. You do know that only you can open that, right? The murderer needed to hide something, so I opened the locker and stuck it in. That's not possible! It's not my fault you happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know! I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who could open that particular locker. Oh yeah, I'll call your bluff. You say I opened the locker. Now prove it. Well... A fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The locker can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. And that included him. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Is he really ripping some turkey in this courtroom? I only got 1 word for your partner. No! Shivas. That was the hardest red no I've ever seen. Order, order, order. Witness, explain yourself. Objection! Hi, Hunter! It's good to see that you're back today, Joe. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. That's fine. Ole, please answer the question. What, is he now, a bullfighter? He's not Spanish, Your Honor, he's American. That's right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right, the only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? He was Goodman. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We've got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence. He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proof I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Didn't you say that exact thing before? Learn to get better insults. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Ah, this can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box. I should not look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's arguments, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. Something about it. Something must have happened that he wasn't prepared for. Which was Meekins. Probably. He was confronted. Wait. Rewind. Is that blood? Take that. It's the... Oh my gosh, he didn't expect Meekins to show up. So when the blood was on the jacket, he couldn't go away undetected because everyone would notice blood on a white jacket. That was it. Cool. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end. Yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked And the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Is he going to confess? Is he going to confess? Please let him confess. Noted. Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago. If you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. Alright. It seems the time has come. Marshall's confession. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole a detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut out his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Time to see if I can get more out of this man. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since the case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transfer that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I... Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So he did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card. I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But it could be because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his race this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. It was me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? Ah, I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and... So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is, on that day... But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on the tape is me. And I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. And why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? Still missing, Your Honor. Ooh! Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Far away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense! Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him what I think his real reason is. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look. I think I do know the reason. I know the exact reason. I think his family was murdered, which is sad. Objection! Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In the list of murder victims, Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. Are you? Oh my god! What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. The case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. Oh. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police. The group of detectives I was a part of worked on them. He was the fourth person. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with this resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. Oh no! The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance. It's got to be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office was parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial! Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me, this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All the mysteries at the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. I rest my case. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. No! Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security cameras tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finding the defendant. No! Don't let me go to jail. Come on, please, please. Yes, Emma, go! Your Honor, wait! Emma, the defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You don't want a minute? I'll give you 3. I was kind of in a shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentioned it, the names of both Sky's sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprints had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprints. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. So did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, the traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubts remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry it can be of more use, but still, we can't find anything wrong with that blood mark. Lana will be Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with the handprints? Could there be something I'm missing? There has to be. There has to be. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at these floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. What is missing? Wait a sec. Missing? You mean something has been drawn on there? Yes, something that when drawn will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. I think I know the reason. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. Which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? This thing has its uses after all. Here we go. What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Exactly! Exactly! Yes! Well? Well, what? That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it will be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. What? So there was someone else. The one with the lucky number did it. So that means, just exactly, what's that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma. That afternoon. Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it will be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I'd managed to show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. What shows when the first crime took place? It's the lucky number. Here we go. It's the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card. Oh, the ID card record. 420. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Ah! Miles Edgeworth! Just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. Doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. He would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. But it's possible with 20 minutes? That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. The lucky number 7 times 7. Yeah, it's double the time, but still, 20 minutes? That's not a lot of time. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his car being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with the 7 times 7. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777777. That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 7 times 7 belongs to someone with the rank of captain or higher. I knew it! I knew it! The man is behind everything! I said it from the start! Davin did it! Davin, Gant, whatever his name is, the orange man, he did everything! Someone who is a so-called executive officer. I don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge? We're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Well, let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7 times 7. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Do you need a witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did.
Lana?
I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look at me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, I didn't... I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why would you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to. In order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
But Lana!
Even if it involved forging evidence. Oh no. See? That's what I'm talking about. No. No! Oh god! Order, 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 order! Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Oh my god. Oh my god. What was... Let's save, yes. Oh my gosh, what a day. Welp. I guess it is time. I did promise I won't play till this moment. We finished it, so I think it's time to wrap up for today. Thank you for the people who came. I'm very happy that you came. It was a little bit more action than yesterday. Well, I do apologize that I had to take a break. But, nah, it is what it is. Really? Thank you. I do my best to make it fun, at least. But I can't wait to wrap this case up. I want to play out the games. I will be taking a break for Ace Attorney after this case. I won't do Justice for All or Trials and Tribulations just yet. Maybe I'll do them when there's like... when I have more time to stream, but... At this moment I only stream once a week, so it's a bit clever. You are alive! Yes! Hello, you are indeed alive. You are alive as a reincarnation that is known as the Chief of Police, Devin Gant. You really are behind everything, aren't you, Von Karma? Oh well. I guess this is a good time to wrap up for today, so... Thank you for everyone who is watching! And I will see you next time. Bye bye!